Hello, hello. Another random subway station in Seoul today. We guess what station we think it'll land on and the closest person gets to pick the food.
나는 인천 라인인데 만수역.
And I picked Cheongdam Station and I think it's line number 7.
뭐예요? 의정부.
Uijeongbu. Okay, on the Uijeongbu line there are a total of 16 stations. So let's do a random number between 1 and 16. And number 2, we're going to Hoeryong Station. You ever heard of it?
회룡?
Oh,
이번에 청룡의 해잖아. 회룡으로 갑시다.
let's do it. And you can see like Seoul is right there. It's way up in the north, like almost 40 kilometers. And you are 41 kilometers exactly. I'm 22, so I'm picking the food today. Let's go.
On today's journey, we start out on line number 2 at Ewha Women's University Station to City Hall, and transfer to line number 1 for a little over an hour of a trip. We are leaving Seoul's border today into the province of Gyeonggi-do, where the highest mountains in the greater Seoul area surround our final destination.
이건 뭔가 기차역 같지 않냐?
여기 이미 느낌이 좀 다르지.
와, 맵 106동과 107동 사이를 보세요.
Whoa,
어마어마하죠?
there's tons of snow on the mountains.
공기가 좀 다른데? 뭔가 강원도 온 느낌 든다.
Oh, 그 산이 좀 있으니까 괜찮지 않아? It is our first time ever coming to this station. We've been to Uijeongbu together one time. We biked up here.
그때 의정부에 가고 있었나?
우리 의정부에서 그 진짜 맛있는 삼겹살.
언덕이잖아, 계속 의정부 갈 때. 아, 거기네.
Yeah, before we start exploring, Eugene's pretty hungry, right?
앙그리.
And there's a food famous in Uijeongbu called Budae-jjigae. It's basically the army stew. Kind of originated during the Korean War, I think, right? When the American soldiers introduced a bunch of like American ingredients like Spam to Korea. This is kind of the most famous place to get it. So that is our first stop for the day.
From our last trip to Uijeongbu, we had an image in our head that it's a bit on the rougher side, with lots of illegal gambling venues in the alleyways that go through loopholes by handing out gift cards instead of cash as prizes, as gambling is mostly illegal here for Koreans. And there were also a fair number of, let's just say, places of love and passion called things like persimmon, cherry, or chocolate. But it was time to explore the area around Hoeryong Station in a new light, with an open mind to get a clearer picture of what kind of a place Uijeongbu really is.
나는 아파트가 지도에서 되게 많길래 약간 새로운 도시를 기대했는데 단지가 약간 연식이 있는 거 보니까 조금 여기가 조성된 지 좀 된 지역일 수도 있어. 그래도 이 근처에 마트도 꽤 많고 올리브영 바로 있고 투썸이 있어. 그 말은 여기가 조금 핫한 곳이야. 뭔가 CJ가 여기를 다 하고 있으면 여긴 좀 핫한 곳이라는 거. 여기 돈이 벌리기 때문에 여기에 지었다는 거.
So we just go straight. And the place we're going to is called Hoeryong-gol Budae-jjigae. The name of the neighborhood, right? And 감사합니다.
아니 이거 나 조금 어색하다. 이거 내가 연습하는 중인데 갑자기 저렇게 들어오셔서 조금 당황했네.
그거 들고 있으면 느낌이 좀 다르지. Now that I'm like the walker, now I'm the camera person again. But
팔이 껴서. 사장님 저희 부대찌개.
spoons on the left side, right? Lived here for 10
안 그러면
years.
약간 나이프랑 그 포크 있잖아. 그거 반대로 놓은 느낌. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
아 맛있겠다. 사장님 이런 게 진짜 멋있어요. 이런 거 다 있는 게.
우리 어머니가 처음 나와서 이거 손으로 돌리는데.
네. 아 이건 손이구나. 와 대박이다.
처음 나와.
떡도 들었고 이게 스팸이랑 두부 이렇게 들었고 당면도 있다.
좀 가벼운데?
약간 깔끔하다. 아, 그냥 맛도 분위기도 그래서 사장님까지도 완벽했다.
It's right behind you. Yeah, first, that place, if you're looking to get like kind of a lighter budae-jjigae for lunch or something, I think it's the perfect place for sure. It's not too like greasy like some other budae-jjigae places are. The atmosphere in there is awesome too. It's kind of like old school style, right?
국물에 감칠맛이 있어. 근데 그 소세지 때문인가? 그 기름이 이렇게 많지 않고
맞아.
개운한 거야. 그래서 맛이 딱 좋았어. 점심으로 아주 딱이었다.
So we're back at Hoeryong Station.
보통 이 역 앞쪽에 약간 먹을 것들을 파는 곳이 있는데 노점상이 있는데 여기에 있는 노점상들은 굉장히 깔끔하게 잘 정리되어 있고 김밥, 토스트, 뭐 닭꼬치, 타코야키, 막 찐빵, 쿠키 다양하게 있어서 여기 나왔을 때 바로 그냥 앞쪽에서 먹어도 맛있을 것 같아.
Next time we come to one of these areas, we should just go to a small little, almost pocha style place. The line we got today was technically the Uijeongbu line, but we came up on line number 1. And Uijeongbu has kind of its own subway line here that's almost looks like a monorail. We've ridden it once before. It's kind of cool that it has its own subway line, you know? Anyang or Suwon, even places like Bucheon, they don't have their own, so. But I think there's a stream I saw on the map. You should check it out. Oh, that's a old school shoe repair place, right?
이 근처에 산이 진짜 다양한 게 많거든? 사패산, 도봉산, 불암산, 뭐 수락산, 북한산 이게 다 있어. 그러니까 여기가 약간 요새처럼 둘러싸인 거지. 산들에 이렇게 둘러싸여서 옛날부터 뭔가 사람들이 여기서 요새처럼 살지 않았을까 싶다.
아, 그랬을 것 같아.
약간 여기 주변이 완전 예쁜데?
Oh, it's super nice around here.
야, 이거 재밌다. 이거 다른 지역 보는 게 서울 참 재밌어.
진짜 재밌어.
아, 근데 여기가 자연도 많고 그래서 더 좋은 것 같아. 뭔가 자연이 계속 보이니까 느낌이 좋은데?
Yeah, we're just gonna walk along this stream a little bit.
여기 낙엽이 떨어졌잖아. 그러니까 많이 밟으니까 그 향이 엄청 많이 난다. 와, 여기도 이렇게 해놨네. 데크를 이렇게 해놨네.
That's one thing like Korea does really well, I think, is just making kind of random rest areas everywhere for like anyone to sit at and relax. Because even when we were like biking through the countryside, in the absolute middle of nowhere, there's like pagodas and stuff all along the path. So it's really like easy to find spots to just sit down, have a snack and stuff like that. So.
그리고 이렇게 사시사철 볼 수 있는 나무들 심어놓은 게 난 너무 좋더라. 도시별로 이렇게 심어놓으니까 괜찮더라고. 솔밭도 있었잖아. 그런 것처럼 이런 게 있으니까 너무 좋아. 와, 좋은데요? 빠지면 답이 없습니다. 조심하시고요. 산에 갔다 내려오시면서 저렇게 사오네요. 우리 엄마도 항상 산에 갔다가 오면서 저런 거 사오셨거든?
That's awesome though that like people still buy their grains and stuff like that. Look at this old building right here. This is a church and they also have like hagwons here too, academies.
와, 근데 되게 오래돼 보여. 봐봐. 관악키드 속셈학원. 속셈이라는 거 자체가 굉장히 약간 옛날 느낌이거든? 요즘에 수학학원이라고 하잖아. 내가 속으로 암산하는 것처럼 3-5를 막 이렇게 하나고 3-5, 8 막 이렇게 하는 거 있잖아. 그럼
It's still like pretty busy around here, eh?
GTX.
아, 여기? So this is also part of the planned GTX line. That's basically like a high-speed subway that is going to connect all the cities in the greater Seoul area just to make it easier to kind of go in between the cities. And we got to see if we can find a place to get like a super nice view of the mountain.
We came up to the top floor of a building nearby to get a view of the surroundings, and you can see Bukhansan towering over Uijeongbu here, with a decent amount of snow as well. In fact, These mountains create a choke point north of Seoul, and that's exactly the reason for the number of army bases nearby, which can't be filmed, and if you look at the satellite images, you can actually see they're photoshopped and the street view is blurred to prevent sensitive information from being leaked. We found an older block of houses that looked really interesting from above, and decided to head over there.
옛날에 저런 거에다 뿌리채소나 과일 같은 걸 담아서 소주를 엄청 부어서 꽉 채운 다음에 술 담금주라고 해서 집에서 술 만들 때 이런 거 썼거든? 우리 집에도 많이 있었어. 이런 거에다가 우리 김장도 하고 여기 안에 뜨거운 물 받아서 목욕도 하고 막 그랬어.
아 진짜? 나한테 약간 드래곤볼 Z 느낌이야.
그지?
고쿠랑 고한이 밖에서 그렇게 목욕했을 때.
아주 옛날에 그렇게 했었을 거야. 와 여기는 뭐야? 와, 야 뭔가 되게 귀엽다. 저기 생선이 있어. 말리고 있어.
Cool little area though. Super tight little alleyways. But people still live in here because the like steam is coming out from their boiler.
럭키.
Whoa.
진짜 옛날 건가 보다.
진짜 옛날 거야.
여기 조심하고. 여기도. 여기 조심하세요. 와 여기는 되게 특이하다.
Where are we right now? It's a cool place to explore for sure. I imagine like a lot of areas in maybe Gyeonggi-do probably looked like this, right? A lot of the villages.
약간 다 이렇게 비슷했을 거야. 왜냐면 여기는 변하지 않았을 뿐이지. 다 비슷했을걸?
But like in your neighborhood when you grew up, there was also like a lot of tight alleyways just like that, right?
맞아. 다 변해서 그런 거지. 원래 다 저렇게 이렇게 집이 다 이렇게 돼 있었어.
It sounded like there was a parade going on almost, but it looks like it's just one guy like protesting against the construction of an apartment building complex or something. He's just blasting music over his speaker on his van, so it seems like here they're a little more tolerant of that than I don't think in like our area you could just blast a speaker that loud, right?
근데 뭐 때문에 그런지를 모르네.
It was time to walk up towards the biggest mountain nearby, Bukhansan. As we saw on the map that there's a temple and a waterfall there that aren't too far away from the neighborhood of Howon-dong that we were exploring.
It's the entrance to the Bukhansan Tullyegear. Yujin's cold, so she's gonna wait for me at the bottom. It's just about 800 meters to get to this temple, so I'll just go check it out. And it's a really nice like wide walking path here at the entrance. There's a bit of snow as well, so kind of adds to the atmosphere a little bit. Oh, I see. I think this is the waterfall too. So this is Hoeryong Temple. Would be nice in the summer to go swim down in that little water hole, but I don't think you're allowed to get in there. But it's a bit bigger than I was expecting, to be honest. So looks good with the snow on the rocks and stuff. And now we're arriving at the temple. So this is Hoeryongsa. It is beautiful actually. Middle of the mountains like this. See more of the stream coming down there. Got the nice wall with the Korean roof. I'm gonna be quiet now because it's gotta be respectful. That was a beautiful temple for sure. It's in a really nice location that's quite remote, like right in the mountains up here. At the same time, it's pretty accessible. It only took about, I'd say, 15 minutes to get up there. Now, this is something like I've lived in Korea for over 10 years now, and a lot of people when they first get to Asia, they end up visiting a lot of temples. It's almost like you get templed out a little bit. Like you just see so many in a row that you're like, oh, okay, I kind of know what they all look like now. But recently, after visiting a lot of more temples again, I've realized that every temple does kind of have its own little vibe, and especially these ones that are kind of in the middle of nowhere and kind of surrounded by nature, they just have a really nice, peaceful feeling to them. And I think my appreciation for temples has definitely come back, and it's becoming exciting to see them again, just like when I first got to Asia. So all right, so that'll do it for this little exploration around Uijeongbu. It was definitely cool to see, especially the bike path and stuff. It's really nice for like the people who live around here to work out on the river and stuff like that. Definitely like an older neighborhood for sure, but it has some pretty cool spots like those tight alleyways we saw with the older housing and stuff like that. Yeah, just to see how they've been living around here, but there's definitely a lot of businesses that are closing as well. So I imagine maybe the population decline in Korea might affect this area before it affects Seoul. We'll just have to see in the future. Yeah, what do you think of this area?
그냥 회룡에 대해서 전혀 몰랐거든? 오늘 진짜 처음 왔는데 그냥 새로운 동네를 봐서 재밌었고 그냥 뭔가 아파트 단지가 지도에 많아서 다른 신도시랑 비슷할 줄 알았는데 연식이 좀 있는 아파트들이 많았고 그래서 좀 더 뭔가 안락하고 더 자연이 가까운 느낌이 이 동네가 되게 매력이 있었던 것 같고 그리고 생각보다 나는 비즈니스나 이런 게 굉장히 많다고 느꼈거든? 그냥 막 여러 가지 학원이나 이런 거 역시 많았고 여기 사는 사람들이 꽤 많은 것 같다 느꼈고
맞아.
여기 주변에 자연이나 이런 게 보러 오기가 되게 좋은 것 같아. 등산하기도 좋고 여기 살면서 여기 주변에 자연이 잘 보이니까 사는 사람들도 되게 좋을 것 같다는 생각이 들었어.
Yeah, it was cool. I didn't know that like you could also hike up Bukhansan from Uijeongbu as well. So that's awesome that they have their own entrance over here. So have to check that out someday. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us in this little exploration of a random neighborhood. This is the first video of 2024, so we got plenty to go, right? All right, we will see you soon.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!